Welcome back to another episode on the Wait a minute, this isn't the Createaholic server. What is this place? That's right, we are back on the single player server for the final episode on this world ever. I have put this world on the back burner for quite a while because of the new Createaholic series that we started, and oh boy, is it cool to be back. I don't know if I would say good. I mean, the builds here are definitely version 1s, if you would say that. I have definitely improved my building style. I love this archway. The colors look amazing. This looks amazing. Those two, meh. For all of those who have never seen this series, I would definitely recommend checking it out. We have a series of videos and stuff of 100 days in the whatever that cover all 15 episode increments up to episode 51, which we are currently at. And in the last episode, we made a tunnel bore building train that bored through everything. And if we head over into the Nether, we can see where that is. This is the tunnel that we made in the last episode using literally thousands of crimson stems, mangrove trapdoors. It literally goes into the abyss. And it looks so cool. We built this for our Nether farm so that we could get all the ingredients from the Nether farm back into the overworld to our storage system, to the train station that we mentioned a little bit earlier. And I even have a Nether train already built and set up. We just haven't configured it or used it yet because we haven't finished with the train tracks. So we need to do that in this episode. We also need to clean up some of the terraforming, mostly on this side of the map. You can see here that we have a lot of floating train tracks, a lot of just everything that is pretty garbage, which we gotta fix. But I first want to start with the train stuff. So here is the Nether train if you haven't seen it. This thing is going to go through to the Nether through this portal way down here, collect up all the ingredients, and then come back around and drop off all of the ingredients at our train station to get sorted. So if we head into the Nether, we need to build this little end station here that wraps around and will bring this track all the way around to here so that the train can go back through to the overworld. Conveniently, when we were building this tunnel, I got way more materials than I needed, so we already have everything to build this, and I already have a schematic. So all we need to do is place down this bad boy, double check it with the material checklist, and as long as we just have super glue there, we are good to start this thing, and it'll just paste in this ending tunnel bit that we need for the train system to be completed and make it an actual loop. The build is done. I just have to connect up these little glass panes here, but this is what it's looking like on the inside. It's kind of just a continuation of it with a little bit of shroom lightage in there. I don't know why I did this. I just thought it would look okay, and I think it does. I think it works. So we have the loop-de-loop here. We just need to now get the train set up, and we actually don't have a train station on this far side here, and that means we aren't going to be able to automate and direct the other train to get to this one. We also don't have a loading system over here, which is another kind of big problem. I really should invest in a train that will drive on this track, because this is insane. And here we come down to these train tracks here. We do need to set up another loop on this side. This one's going to be a lot easier and less pretty because we can't have anything be able to spawn on it. So instead of the big loop-de-loop pathway, we're just going to have to go around in a circle, and hopefully this will just work. There we go, a little bit jank, but it'll work. We now have this little loop-de-loop. So from my understanding, the train is going to come down here, loop around, and then connect up with this area. We have just these two kind of drawers here that we need to load up to the train. But I think in order to do that, the best way is just going to be to bring it over here. So let's assemble the train. That looked like it worked. And, right. We have a blaze driving. Seat is in there. We rebuild. And I know I can drive it without a seat, but I am worried about going through the Nether portal because that would be a huge problem. So we should see that we can move onward. And I hope that if we just fly into the Nether portal, Oh my gosh, we just go? Wait, this is insane. Uh-oh. We're going. The rest of the train is with us still. This is actually crazy. I didn't think it would work this well. But we should see as we kind of approach the station that we are able to stop, line everything up, and then we can set up where the actual train station is going to be, because we still haven't done that. We also then need to hook up all the connectors to like actually transfer items, but that should be easy. The biggest slope known to man, no worries. And we should be able to slowly spin around, and that should be good. So if we were to grab ourselves a train station, I'm gonna just plop it right here and then put it directly underneath so that mobs can't spawn on it. I don't know if these are spawnable blocks, but I would not want to figure it out. And then Nether mob farm. There we go. And we should, if we get back into this, be able to approach the station and get an exact location, which we do. And there we go. We should have a system where we pull items from here into the train, and once this fills up, we can bring it back home and start setting up the unloading process, which should be just as easy. I mean, I just connected up a belt with a funnel going up and then into the thing here. And I honestly think if we get a train schedule, where is my train schedule? So we go to the main station and then to the Nether farm station. I'm gonna wait. Let's do 4 minutes here. And then 1 minute at the unloading station. That should be fast enough. I'll do 4 minutes on each station. Let's do that. And then if we give it to this guy, we are on our way. We are moving, and we should see that everything works flawlessly. I'm not driving the train this time. It's Mr. Blazeboy here, our brand new conductor, our fancy schmancy guy. We should see in the tunnel that was made automatically by this train, not this train, a different train, a similar train though. It had wheels, and it goes back to the main base, at least for the time being. I don't know if it'll unload itself automatically, but we can get there when we get there. Over into the overworld, and up we go. Holy lag, no problem. We should go through everything, and then we'll go up and around back to the base over the super completed and real bridge that looks real and is a bridge. Ignore the janky train physics, by the way. I don't know what I'm doing. We should auto left turn here. I'm not touching anything. Oh, this is a jank left. Oh, yeah, it works. If it works, it works. That's all I'm saying. And then up here, another wacky incline into a hard left turn over the bridges that we made. I think this was like episode 10 or 15 that we made these. And then we should stop at the station here, and we can see train schedule 15 seconds, Hellsteam Express. We have arrived, and now we just got to make sure that, where is my boy? I think it's over here. Where is it? I mean, it's well hidden. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. That this then connects up down below to our unloading system. And if you haven't seen, this is the unloading system here. We don't have anything too crazy. I was literally 1 block off. That's hilarious. Just means we can scooch all of you over by 1, and then we should be able to just connect this up. Those will connect, and we should see, yep, golden nuggets heading over to our storage system. And then all we need to do is give this guy back his schedule, and then this will be a fully automated train that is 100% working. And we should see eventually when this train is coming back, or when at least it's on the other station. Yeah, I see now Hellstream Express to the Nether. We should see that it will be in like 4 minutes, the Hellstream Express is coming over, and that'll be super cool. So the Nether system is now set up. That has been 3 episodes in the making, but it is finally done. Now comes the cleanup part and the main bit of the episode. So as I mentioned a little bit before, we have a lot of vanilla terrain that we just kind of glossed over, that we built over but didn't make look good. And this is going to be a big task. We have this pathway that leads to nowhere. We have this beautiful terrain that stops right here. And we have a lot of floating train tracks, especially over here, which we don't look at, but for all my YouTube members, the ones that pay for additional content, more perks and stuff like that, I am going to be supplying the world download to this so that you can use it, hang around, get schematics of builds that you like, whatever, and this just won't do. Everything is floating. This looks kind of garbage, and it won't be too difficult to fix, I hope. And after a little bit of work, we do have a fix, and I say a little bit of work. We have 3 schematic cannons stationed across our base to rebuild the entirety of the terrain of this whole place. The only problem is we need 45,000 blocks, and a lot of it is cobblestone and things like andesite and tuff, which we all have farms for, but there are some things that we don't have farms for, or we do have farms for, they're just a little bit slower and we don't have a ton of yet, which is moss and mossy cobble, both of which are a pain to automate. Moss a little bit less so because we do have the moss farm, but each thing of mossy cobble we need to craft by hand. So that's going to be about 30 minutes of me crafting. But once we have all those things, we should be able to just schematic cannon in an entire new set of terrain pieces so that when we look out here, we're not greeted by just stupid grassland, we're greeted by a full array of this stony texture, and I think it's going to look really, really sweet. So let's first get into some material gathering. I mean, most of it we have already, like the cobble and stone, but we need some andesite, we need some tuff, we need some moss, we need some mossy cobble. So let's get all those things. And in this resource gathering session, we've really only had to get moss and then a ton of mossy cobble. We're using about 10,000 blocks of each block type, which means we need 20,000 moss, 20,000 cobble, which is easy, and then 10,000 of andesite, stone, gravel, and tuff. Tuff is particularly difficult because that requires andesite and diorite in order to craft, which means we probably need 20,000 andesite, which means we need like 30,000 diorite. All to say, it took a while, but we got all the ingredients that we needed and we're ready to build this thing. And in this final time-lapse chat of the series, I thought it would be good to talk about just the series itself. I had a ton of fun. I did not expect this to go for 51 episodes. And I mean, especially the fact that when I started this, I had literally never touched anything with the Create mod, period, is insane. I've done stuff with Mechanism, I've done stuff with, what are some other mods? Basically just Mechanism, honestly. I played a ton of Vault Hunters back in ye old times where I like just full grinded Mechanism. I'd done like nuclear reactors with Mechanism and all that stuff. I had never done Create because it was always so scary, and I just started it, and here we are, the final episode of the series with 3 massive buildings, including a whole barn, 2 train systems, 3 train systems, one that goes to a Guardian farm that I honestly fully forgot about. We have a long-range Nether farm, all of which deliver the stuff back to the main base as we're doing it. It is absolutely insane. So thank you all for coming along with me on this journey, and that's the end of the terraforming, so let's get back onto the world. And there we go, the build is done. The Nether train is already coming back, but this thing is done. We have completed this pathway that winds through here, going over to the other side with this little land bridge type of thing that I think looks really cool and is structurally supported, at least a little bit. The middle is a little bit flimsy, but we take it. And then everywhere else, wherever there is a railroad, it is now supported by the ground. We've kind of painted over and changed a lot of the blocks over to the right block palette and stuff. We do have still the continuation if we wanted to continue and go that way. We have this going all the way up. We have this super, super cool, and I'm a big fan of this little archway thing in here that I actually need to fix real quick because gravel, believe it or not, it falls. I forgot about that little fun fact while I was designing this. So there were gravel pieces, but we have a little archway there, and then it just continues and continues and continues. This is 45,000 blocks. This is not like 45,000 blocks and deep. This thing is basically hollow. It's just the surface level blocks that we have fully terraformed, fixed. We have a little archway going up there. That looks so, so cool. Again, I forgot some gravel blocks here. Holy. And I'm just replacing it with the andesite because I can't be bothered placing in gravel. I'm gonna be honest. It's just not a huge deal. It doesn't make a huge difference doing gravel instead of andesite, really. but it goes all the way up. This is all now terraformed. We have another little bridge here that looks super cool, and that just continues up and over. I didn't terraform the bridge. This video already has taken 3 days, so we're not doing that, but everything is now done and terraformed, and I am so happy with it. But that is going to be it for the cleanup. We have finished everything that I wanted to get done in this episode. We have a beautiful pathway coming back to the main base. We have terraformed and fixed all of the floating train tracks, all of the floating bits, all of the whole barn was floating. We have fixed everything needed for that, and this whole area looks so cool. I think let's end it off with a little bit of, I guess a little bit of a tour. I wouldn't consider it super a tour, but a fly around of the whole base just to see everything that we have done. So thank you all for joining me on this insane adventure of 51 episodes in the Create mod. We made so many cool builds, so many cool contraptions, so many cool farms, so many cool train lines, and we are now finished. And check out the Create-aholic series if you somehow haven't seen that. It is honestly even better building and designs. I design everything in creative before I plonk it in here, so it's going to be better than these builds, even though some of them are pretty nice. So definitely check that out if you haven't. But let's get into the final fly around time-lapse tour of the entirety of this build. So enjoy.